Hey there, Oz, and Patreon subscriber Don S.
Hey, Curtis.
Hello. Hey, what movie we watching this week?
This week we're watching a mashup of Diner meets Dave with a dose of Max Headroom and a whole lot of Outcast Bombs Over Baghdad. This week we're watching 1999's Deterrence.
Yep.
To the guitar.
So welcome back.
Hey,
Yeah,
thank
welcome
you very
back,
much, fellas,
Don.
as always.
Yeah.
Welcome back,
it's great to see
listeners
ya.
and viewers. We're here another week. Let's talk about flicks. Podcast where we take a monthly theme and we satisfy it with weekly contributions. This month's theme is Patreon subscriber month, and hence our special guest Don S.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, fellas. Yeah.
Welcome back, Don.
Always a joy
Yes.
having you aboard. So let's give a shout out to our other Patreon subscribers: Aaron A, Mandy K, Melissa L, Colleen K, and Lyle M. Thank you one and all for your patronage, and we will have Melissa L's contribution and the wrap up of Patreon subscriber month 0.5 next week.
And she is very excited about it, I will say.
I bet.
So a couple minor differences between this week's movie and next week's. I know
Minor.
Don doesn't know, so we will.
Little bit,
we'll
yeah,
spill
a little
it
bit.
in.
I'd be surprised. I will wait
Yes.
until next week for sure.
Speaking of Don, where can people find
Yeah, plug.
Sure. If you search the search term, every movie has a lesson, you'll find that handle on the social media stuff. That's my home website. I'm the editor-in-chief and content supervisor of Film Obsessive. That's where my work gets published a little higher than just being a mom blog. And I'm a member of the Chicago Indie Critics, much like you guys are. So our work kind of gets cross-pollinated and posted there. But those are the spots to find me. I guess I'm the co-host of the Cinephile Hissy Fit podcast, even though we are on a self-imposed sabbatical from my co-host, who's just underwater as a teacher in Phoenix. So I'm like, you need a break.
Understandable.
I'll take a break.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all educators, and we can definitely empathize with that.
Yeah.
Well, and you know how terrible it's got to be if you're underwater in Phoenix. 'Cause
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Pretty
It
dry
rains and
state
pours,
out
I guess,
there.
down there.
Very arid.
Yeah.
He just has a cloud following him, just like
yeah,
a Charlie
he-
Brown cartoon.
Yeah.
Totally. That's him, all right.
So, and go ahead, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that
Yeah.
jazz you're supposed to do if you're watching us on YouTube, and check out the website letstalkaboutflix.com, where we have all of our back channel. Everything we've created is there: blogs and articles and lists and
Yes.
you name it. It's there.
all there. Random movie generators.
Yeah,
And
my
Oz,
third-
you
my
were
third
giving me a
grade
hard
report
time.
card. Next thing you guys need is merch. Get on
Yeah,
some
we
T-Public,
know.
get a little something going, get some
Yeah, that would
coffee
be
mugs
nice.
and stickers. Yeah,
We could do
Yeah.
merch.
There's only so many coffee mugs in my own show I can buy, though.
true, good point. Yeah.
I got a whole garage full.
That's right. So, but no, yeah, I think we've toyed with that. At some
We have
point.
toyed with merch
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So, what the heck? Why not? So,
Mhm.
Deterrence. Don, you brought this to
I did.
our
Yes.
show. Give us, without getting into a plot, where did this come from for you?
This was one of those. So in 1999, I'm a sophomore, junior in undergrad college. So I was working in a video store, like dorks of our age did.
I've worked at 3 different ones.
One for me, but not 3. But still, at the same time, like to the younger people who are listening to the show, a video store is it's
It's like a library.
It's like a
only
library where you
pay
borrow
to pay. Yeah.
movies.
Mhm.
So no, this was one of those. I know it had a cup of coffee in the theaters, but this was one of those that felt like a direct to video. And I say the word video instead of the word DVD,
Mhm.
because 99, where we were still, rewinding tapes, where I was intrigued by the cover. I was a Kevin Pollak guy from like A Few Good Men and the Grumpy Old Men series, where he kind of plays the son and all that. Where he's an intriguing actor. He's always really good with his comedy. And I saw him on the cover in something that looked very non-comedic. Read the back of the box, and I'm like, ooh, kind of a positing forward of a political near not too distant future kind of thing. And I'm like, I'll give that a shot. And just on a random spin, and I was engrossed. I did not know a lot of the nuts and bolts behind it in 1999, that it was made by a film critic, and that it assembled what it assembled and tried to do what it tried to do. And I didn't know that it was a complete bomb. But it's one of those movies where it's kind of stuck with me a little bit, where if someone needs a recommendation of something that's just way off the on a higher branch of the tree or something tell me something, Don, I haven't seen, and something that'll intrigue me and pull me in for at least a little bit. This is a movie that I say is I don't want to say buried treasure, because that would require it to be, really, really good, but it's a solid movie. But one of those just underseen things that maybe has a little bit of roots and things that can maybe echo and be talked about even today. And watching it this week, 26 years later, or I can't even do the math, 27 years later, it's amazing how far we've come in at the same time. Maybe how far we haven't come when we kind of get into the movie here.
A little prescient as far as the plot and some of the
a little bit
important things.
Almost makes me think that maybe someone else has seen this movie.
Pete Hegswith,
yeah.
Oh no, he only watches Girls Gone Wild.
This is a good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah,
and Commando,
on tape.
Ironically,
pretty much.
So. Well, thank you for sharing that, because it was one of those, Curtis and I, we've talked before that we can always rely on you to bring something out from under the bed that has it, blow the dust bunnies off, and we're like, take a look at this one. And so
it sounds like this movie got you kind of a formative time too. And
it did. Like, as a political guy, I probably grew up in the same red state we all still live in, or at least red state areas of the blue state we live in now, because I grew up in a place that wasn't super duper blue. I'm a very blue guy now, but at the same time, this was a saber rattling movie in '99 that I had heady things to talk about, and I was intrigued enough to be like, hey, what kind of does that mean, or could it really go in that direction? And pre 9/11 we had no idea, and here we are post, and we're just prescient. It was the good word.
Fair enough. Well, thank you. Curtis, who's in this movie, Curtis?
Yeah, I'll hit the cast here. Again, we get the aforementioned Kevin Pollak as President Walter Emerson. He wasn't the original vice president. The elected vice president had to step out, and then so he was nominated, and now he's thrust in the middle of this global crisis.
Yeah.
We have his chief of staff, played by Timothy Hutton of all people. Marshall Thompson sounds like a quarterback at a high school in Texas.
It does, yes.
Yeah, Timothy Hutton. We got Cheryl Lee Ralph, who's always just absolutely amazing. As Gail Redford, the national security advisor, and then we've got some of the local patrons. I will get to. We have Sean Astin a couple years before Lord of the Rings as Ralph.
Yeah.
We have I'll butcher the name here. Clotilde Carew as Katie. She's the server at the diner that everyone ends up in. We've got Baja Jola as Harvey, the owner and proprietor of the diner. We've got Michael Mantrell and Catherine Morris as Taylor and Lizzie Woods, a married couple who like to go to the diner to play chess. And then we got Mark Thompson as Gerald Irvin. Was he the Secret Service guy who was multilingual?
So.
I think so.
I believe so. Yeah.
So relatively small cast, very self-contained locations.
Yes, very much so.
Which I would argue the diner itself is a character in its own way.
True. Yeah. And we've. Curtis and I, we've talked about this a little bit, that, and you'd even said this feels very much like a stage play.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
The first time I watched
a good bottle movie, when you can shrink it down and stay in one place and use your angles, use your places where.
Yeah, I like a contained film.
And even in this movie, you think like they're going to run out of backgrounds or run out of things to do, but like it seems like every time they sit down or every time they go somewhere, we've got a different camera placement where it's not the same 3 people in the background. It's not the same 2 seats they sit in, and they work the room a little bit.
Yeah, they do. It's big diner in Aztec, Colorado.
It was a cheesecake factory. They actually
that's right. Yeah. Ballroom at Harvey's.
Harvey's Ballroom Factory.
Right.
That's right. So it's Burger Emporium. But yeah, so I'll kind of handle the plot, and Don, you fill in, or we could, go about this. This, despite coming out in '99, it's a futuristic film, as it is the spring of 2008, and it's basically primaries is where we're at. Yeah. This is which is here we are at the end of March, and we just kind of went through our state primaries, so it was very poignant as to when we're discussing this film, and U.S. President Walter Emerson, like you said, Curtis, who was not the elected president, but the man who's currently in the job. He's campaigning in Colorado ahead of Super Tuesday, the primary elections. He's really pushing to keep his job as the president, as he was, again, formally appointed the vice president. So this is one of those claims we don't see ever in politics, of somebody that is got the job and was not first or second in command. And so, he's kind of riding high, very much head over heels. In
wins the Colorado primary.
He wins the Colorado primary.
He's on a bit of a victory lap, to leave Colorado when a snowstorm hits this area in Aztec, Colorado. And they end up at kind of Morty's Roadside Diner, which is, introduced to us in black and white as if it's some kind of auteur film. And
threw me off a little bit until those opening credits. And I was like, really? Really? Yeah. Are we doing this?
Right.
You Cohen?
And then we have our exposition dumper that's kind of here the whole time, which is this IBS news reporter. The character's name is Gerald Irving. The Mark Thompson, that's actually the...
there we go.
He's the newscaster actor who's been in like Independence Day, The American President. He's got like 15, 16 screen credits. So good job, Mark Thompson, for
all newscaster.
And I think he's an LA-based newscaster even to this day. So dude's doing
like
well.
He's like the Michael Buffer of news anchors.
Right, very much so. But he kind of serves up like the news updates of the day before the big man in the cigar walks into this diner and things shift to color as if Dorothy walked through the door or something. So
a little bit, and like you mentioned, this was written and directed by a film critic, and so it's got a little bit of that flavor to it right at the beginning of, in some ways I saw a lot, and them just coming up with this now of like Walter, like Emerson walking around with his chest stuck out a little bit, despite not really earning his feathers, is kind of like how Rod Lurie directed this film. Like, look what I could do, everybody. You don't have to go to film school. And it works. Thankfully, this movie wasn't any longer than it was, and it stayed in one setting. Like he understood he's got a small toy, and he's going to master this small toy. And it worked. It worked okay. One issue I had a little bit at the beginning, my wife was watching this with me, is there was all of this exposition dump going on.
Huge dump. Yeah.
I made a note of that as well.
A lot of it going on. And I can't say, unless you are like privy to political speak, it was kind of confusing. Like,
it's gobbledygook. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. At one point we paused it and Jenny just goes, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, we're not even in color yet. She's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think, of course, I'd kind of read the plot synopsis. So I'm like, I think this is what's going on.
The I in IBS actually stood for exposition.
Exactly. Misspelled it, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's beside the point.
Yeah. It's futuristic.
No,
and so, they all come in and basically we're commandeering your diner. It's pretty much what it is. We got to wait for this blizzard to blow over. We can't get to Air Force One. We're setting up shop here, which like I can work with that, because now you're forcing you're forcing the elite in with the plebes,
with
like
the common folk.
He's down and he can't go anywhere. Let's see how well he can really politic. But that's not where the movie goes.
No,
not at all.
Even though he walks in the room and kind of plays the politician, works the room, meets
initially,
the people. Hey, how you two doing? You guys play chess here often, and like,
is that the Kasparov move?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you Bobby Fischer?
Pressing the flesh, he's pressing the flesh. He's kind of, making everybody feel good, because people do realize when he walks in the room, there's a bit of an, oh my goodness, that's the president.
Temperature changes.
Yeah. So he's doing his, and at the same time, I feel like, even with Pollak and kind of the twinkle in his eyes, he's kind of gauging their politics while he meets him. Like, all right, which person is this? Yeah. Oh, you're a New Yorker guy. Oh, you're the truck driver. I think he's kind of reading the room.
Oh, you're Sean Astin.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you're Middle Earther.
Is that like a flat earther?
Right. The Middle Earther.
Yeah.
Very feet truck driver. All that.
And so while Emerson and crew, again, this is a very skeleton crew as well.
Very much so.
While they are there, news hits. And thankfully, we've got IBS, because it all comes through.
Boy, do we.
Well, I said there was an exposition dump.
Yeah.
That's what IBS was for.
Right.
And so they drop that shocking, because we're not in the Ruski 60s anymore.
No.
The Russians don't do anything in film in 1999. It's all the Middle East. And what we get is news that Iraq has invaded Kuwait on the orders of the Iraqi president. And what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Because it's this weird, and it's a really weird timing of right before the primaries.
Mm-hmm.
You've not been elected before.
Right.
What are you going to do, President? And
Yeah.
you don't have your cabinet to relay off of. You've got, your comm links or whatever, but ultimately it's, what are you going to do? Are you preside over this? And that's really the weight of the movie.
Yeah, and he's even more limited with his options, because apparently there's a ruckus with North Korea, so that's where the bulk of the Navy is right now, and so their ability to respond to this sudden crisis in the Middle East is pretty limited.
And thankfully, we haven't had any issues with the Middle East since.
Recording this in March of 2025.
This was nice. Yeah. This was nice. A nice little time capsule of what it was like to go to war with the Middle East over oil.
It's amazing. But you're right, in terms of the bottom movie setup, he even says that line, there's war in the Middle East and all I have are 4 phones and a diner, and that's kind of what he's got. So not that this is MacGyver by any means, but he does have to do a lot through.
It's not even MacGruber.
Right. MacGruber, there's only 4 minutes left. Gosh, the MacGruber version of this movie would be hilarious. We can cast Will Forte in this movie immediately. But no, he, and the fun part is, like, if this was a 2025 movie, and I feel there's almost a version of this which is like a House of Dynamite, which was just on Netflix, where we've kind of had that, immediate emergency presence on the road. What do we do thing with, Idris Elba and Rebecca Ferguson. I don't know if you guys saw the Netflix movie this past year, but so that movie felt like a version of this, like today, where South Korea, or they think South Korea, launches an ICBM against Chicago, as a matter of fact, and they have 19 minutes to knock this thing down or do something. And they do 3 different perspectives, where it's like Kelly, it's like Tracy Letts in the war room in Washington with Rebecca Ferguson. It's President Idris Elba being very Obama, but what are we going to do? He's on like a helicopter. And then there's like the missile defense guys with Anthony Ramos from In the Heights and in Transformers in Alaska trying to knock this thing down. And they do 19 minutes at a time of each of the 3 locations, with a very open ending of like what's going to happen if this nuke lands in Chicago. And it felt like, ticking clock, only so many countermeasures you have, in limited, and you're doing this on the road with, who's here to even check in on, who can we get on the phone. The movie felt like that, only smaller in here, where that movie, you have people looking at their smartphones and trying to figure things out on a laptop, where this is a little bit more actionable conversation, and I commend it for it, in its 1999-ness, where sat phones and a laptop or 2 were thought to be big time,
the forefront of technology. Yeah.
We got to route this communication through my Game Boy Color.
It's true.
I mean, they still got a payphone in the diner, which is kind of silly, where he like chooses to call his wife and daughter later in the movie. But for the most part, we're on 4 satellite phones and a laptop. So
that's pretty much what it is. And so, there's all kinds of turmoil going on everywhere else. Like you said, Iraq's invading Kuwait. In the process of that invasion, Iraqi troops kill a UN peacemaker, which was largely staffed by the US, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So Emerson does what he does. Thankfully, they have an IBS cameraman there following its every move. It's real world Aztec, Colorado. And he makes an address to the diner using that television crew. And he gives Hussein, which is the president of Iraq, gives them an ultimatum: stop your ceasefire and turn yourself into the embassy. You got an hour and a half to do it, or we're going to drop a nuke on Baghdad. That escalated quickly.
That's an understatement.
That's drop your business on the table there.
Yeah. Just you turn yourself in, or we're going to nuke your capital. And even like his chief of staff and everyone's just like,
That's
what
so
are you
much.
doing? What are you
Yeah.
doing?
Yeah, be calm.
Like
Mhm.
Iraq doesn't back down. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Everyone's shocked. I mean, civilians are shocked. I mean, everybody is
Mhm.
just like, since when does the president make solo decisions without checking with anybody first?
Yeah.
Except Ralph. Ralph was
yeah.
all about it.
Yeah,
Right.
Ralph.
Yeah. And then I mean, the conversations are there, but it's a whole lot of like he's on his own, he's on his own angle, and a lot of like duly noted in the record.
Yeah.
Fine, you said you said your piece. You could, because Timothy Hutton and Cheryl Lee Ralph really try to talk some sense into him, or at least go, hey, slow down, let's take this angle first, this angle second, and in his mind, he's like, this is the only way they're going to do it, and this is the only way we don't look soft, and it'd be different if I think in different hands, and I'll save this for later with just talking about Pollak and the cast, but like in different hands, there's a version of this movie where you have a stark raving lunatic making this decision, not unlike what we maybe could have in 2026. But so who's a hand, a reach arm away from the nuclear football. So the fact that he says he's calm, maybe he's not calm, but we're still a long way from, nutball. So he's got an edge, and he laid it down, and he's gonna stand by it. And that hour and a half becomes a whole lot of weigh the implications. Who you can get on the phone to talk about some things. You've got just the discovery of like possible biological and chemical weapons in play. Where is this the big play that prevents a bigger problem that could attack our allies? What does Iraq have to respond to it in terms of the diplomatic answers or their own missiles to target our allies or ourselves? And so it grows and grows and grows, and then there's even stuff like the jihadist implications, because he's a Jewish president. He's a Jew firing on Arabs in the Middle East in 2007 or 2008, and it's those things become very large talking points and argumentative points in this diner. And I think the wild card of it all, which your mileage may vary watching the movie, is kind of those unsolicited opinions of the commoners that are there, because the cook has something to say, the French waitress has something to say, our guy Sean Astin Ralph has plenty to say, and each of those people kind of get their spot to kind of, excuse me, Mr. President, and have their little moment, and we get to see those interplays between their little monologues and how Pollak takes it, and those are interesting encounters to a degree.
They really were.
Well, and that's what makes this different from your set in the White House or set in a bunker.
Everyone's an expert, right?
Yeah, and you've got the common folk there at the diner.
Yeah. And probably the spotlight guy of that cast is Sean Astin's Ralph. Because he kind of represents your pre-MAGA Republican, because
he's maggishly delicious.
Yeah, because he's that he's that guy where I think his line was, if you drop that bomb on them, you've earned my vote and the vote of every real American.
Real American, red-blooded American.
Yeah,
with my trucker hat and my oversized vest and my goatee.
So he's definitely your loudest, contentious, guy who's in with earshot of hearing all these things happening. He's got a second speech later, which just dives into where he's at in the bigotry department, which his first speech was more interesting because it's if you drop that bomb, real American stuff. Then he, doubles down a little worse later in the movie. And it's interesting to see, again, how this movie would play out if you have a president that actually listens to it, or if those things really do get in his ear. How much of it is snake oil? How much of it is noise? And between Cheryl Lee Ralph and Hutton, and then the clientele that are at this diner, they all have their spot. They all have their moment to try. But the interesting thing is, there's not a lot of sway. He's sticking with it, and the clock is still ticking.
Well, in a lot lot of Emerson's no different than Hussein.
Just
that Emerson's coming at it of I'm going to threaten something major so big he's going to have to back down, and then Hussein doesn't back down. Matter of fact, he counters with by the time you enter our airspace with a bomber, we will fire 12 or 13 nukes.
It might be 21.
It was a lot, but it's I will tell you exactly where they're going, and you're not going to have time to stop them all.
No,
so they have hidden sites.
Yeah. So it's a matter of, it's not even a bluff, but I call you and raise you. Yeah. And now it's just a measuring contest at this point.
Right. Between Pollak's still there. Like his retort of, I am the match. woo.
Yeah,
I remember looking up the trailer of this movie after I saw it on, I think, old YouTube, but like that was kind of your like sizzle moment of the trailer of I am the match, Deterrence. You know, like it was
hang up on the president of Iraq.
Yeah,
Right.
and
So-
it's like that'll go well. And so, yeah, that's really what this pushes down to is both parties just threatening nuclear warfare without consulting anyone.
No,
It's just I'm in charge. I'm going to do this. And so there's a lot of we can't. A lot of, and there's a lot of conversations on Comlink and sat phones and you know, Hussein communicates that we're not backing down. So there's discussions. We get some interpreter action, and then one of our, you know, convenient guys in the back is like, I actually speak that language, and he's not translating it correctly. Let me tell you exactly what he's saying. So it's this mirror of you could almost like film this, and you know, Bollywood could have made this and show that side of the conversation where it's all, because it's really just it's two guys on both sides of opposing ideologies doing the exact same thing. You guys are far more similar than you are diverse.
Yeah.
So we're back and forth with our, you know, time is of the essence.
Yeah.
They're going to do it. We're going to do it. Who could do it first?
Yeah. And it's all fun until the young guy carrying the football gets shot.
Yeah. So we've got, you know, Harvey, who, to be fair, as a short order cook, knows quite a bit about politics.
Indeed.
He's trying
got opinions.
Yeah, he's trying to talk, you know, Gail Redford into, you could talk some sense into him. You know, you've got to do it. He shouldn't do this, and he realizes that you know, our soldier over here with the nuclear football is the only one that knows the codes. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that he's the only one that knows the codes? Harvey knew it, and I don't know if it comes up later for you guys, but you know, poo on the combing through the diner to make sure it's safe. As Harvey just goes to a shotgun and kills the soldier.
Yeah, it pulls an elephant gun out from underneath the bar there.
Right.
Kills the soldier, and in his mind, that's the only guy that knew the code. He's dead, so you can't get in there and set off the nukes. Right. Because there's not a backup code. Well, he's got 4 sat phones going. Like, could somebody give me the code, please? And of course, Harvey gets gunned down, rightfully so. I mean, and before you know it, like, there's 2 dead bodies. No one really cares. Let's get that suitcase open. So now again, it's just a race against time. Who's going to do what? And I thought there was a really fun conversation about Emerson basically was like, what are we worried about? Like, our protective shield, we're going to fire down these nukes. Like, you know, so find out where those nukes are from. Well, they're American nukes.
Turns out.
And lo and behold, America doesn't prepare against American nukes. We're used to just everyone having antiquated technology. It'll be easy for us. You know, we're rolling in with a tank and everyone else is shooting cannons. This is going to be an ezy fight. Turns
out,
like
us trying to shoot down a Chevy.
Nope,
not gonna happen.
Can't shoot down American made.
Not American.
No. Yeah, how are you supposed to fight back against My Pillow?
Right.
Those are made in America.
We don't
And
have
so
technology for that.
You know, come to find out, we had sold nukes to France, and France turned around and sold them to Iraq. So we're like, crap. Like, what are we gonna do now? This whole time, Emerson's not really rattled.
No,
like he never loses his cool.
He never loses his cool. I won't go to say he ever really had his cool.
Yeah, and I think in a different movie, he has his, you can't handle the truth level monologue, and he doesn't, and that's kind of a cool play out of Pollak.
Yeah, I did. He's very reserved in his role, and I liked it. So we've got this back and forth with, conversation with France. You guys are an ally of ours. How did Iraq end up with missiles that we sold you? And it's like, well, it's a free market, man.
French cigarette puff. Yeah, got it.
And so that's what happens. So Emerson goes and has a conversation with, the French president, doesn't reveal the conversation to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
That won't come back.
Right.
So this is where Emerson's having conversations with the people in the diner. Obviously the Woods and Katie, they oppose the nuclear weapons. Ralph says, go for it.
Right.
Until he hears that NORAD is being targeted, which is really close
which is like 40 miles away.
Right.
Then suddenly he's like, oh, this is
Yeah.
not in my backyard.
Mhm.
And Emerson goes and locks himself in a payphone to have a conversation with his wife. His wife is against the action.
Right. Fun conversation there. Yeah.
So I'm the president. I can't back down. What am I, chicken? Like,
Right.
come on, McFly. And so this will work. Fire up a B-2 bomber. Let's get a nuke over there. And of course, Hussein's been adamant the whole time. You break the border, we're firing these nukes.
We're letting them fly.
And
we do. B-2 crosses the border.
Yeah, and they both
missiles en route.
Yeah, they both play chicken, and they both, one of them loses. And so and it was actually fun because I started watching this, and yesterday morning I had some time before school, and the alarm on my phone went off to wake up my daughter just as he's wrapping up the conversation with the B-2 pilots.
Yeah, cool conversation.
So it's like I'm turning the TV off as they're like, like bombs away. Turn the TV off. I'm like, I'll finish this 15 minutes later. So they drop a bomb. Baghdad is destroyed. They get footage somehow. There's reliable news footage from way high up, hot air balloons apparently.
The Goodyear blimp was over.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's the old Thunder Snow guy from the Weather Channel? Like I forgot the ace reporter that was always in every hurricane. Like they must have hired him and his people.
But it was that guy.
It was that guy. Yeah.
So it was 23 nuclear weapons that Iraq fires off before. So all right, here we go.
Ours drops, theirs drop, but don't detonate. Anywhere.
It was about 100 megatons worth of what we dropped on Baghdad. And there is, I really thought it was a cool play to it was the only outside interaction was the news. And they kept it pretty level headed. There wasn't, like, if this was the movie Armageddon, you would have cut to all of these cities where the bomb's about to drop, and you would have gotten panic, whatever. I like that it was basically this waiting game of because they're in a diner in Colorado. They have no idea what's going on in the outside world. So like you said, these nukes start landing and they're all duds. Every single one of them. And
there's a bit of a chin where, we're like,
what caused that to happen? Thankfully, we have a reason. So Emerson addresses the news once more and says that we secretly sold those weapons to Iraq on purpose. We wanted them to get to Iraq. We sold them to the French.
They're going to get nuclear capabilities anyways. We should probably be involved.
The French were involved as kind of the middleman, but they were on our side. They were on our side the whole time. And basically it boiled down to the United States was the first to come up with this like teraflop computer that is the most powerful computer ever known to man.
In the movie,
we're the only ones that have done it. And so we sold these nukes to Iraq, and we gave them a computer that was programmed to tell them that they all work. It's no different than what Volkswagen did with their emissions testing. It's exactly what it was.
Here it is.
But basically, they have a computer. So the computer that they are running the nukes through is telling them these nukes are armed and ready. In reality, they were just empty the whole time.
They all said Acme on the side.
It really,
Right.
when they landed, just a giant anvil or a giant like sledgehammer came out.
Just a red flag that says loser on it came out of
Yeah.
it.
You know, just Hussein just goes,
Yeah.
yikes. And so that was the MacGuffin of the movie is we knew we could pull this off because we're the United States. Like we're Team America. Like
And
we're
now
the world
North Korea,
police.
you saw what we just did to Iraq.
Yeah.
Like you
So
imagine that's probably what happens next.
So why don't you back off too?
Right.
And again,
that's
let's
the
not
thing,
forget.
like,
Let's not
us
forget.
dropping. Go
We
ahead.
bombed Baghdad. Like,
We did. And got away with it. You know.
Yeah, in this movie, we weren't kidding.
No.
Our nukes were real.
And in that aftermath, you know, after that address, like, you know, I think it feels like Emerson is then that place where we did it and we showed our strength. We win the day, but there's a part of him where he can't walk that back, you know, where he's like, I'm leaving the campaign. Someone else can run for president. I'm going to call it all off tomorrow at an address at the White House and lights his victory cigar and rolls out of that diner.
Yeah.
And credits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Gets his chili burger to go.
Oh,
Yeah,
he did get the chili burger. That's right. Thanks, Ralph. Yeah.
Still waiting on it because you know
Coke's
Harvey
fine, right?
couldn't put it in styrofoam.
There's a French waitress crying, Harvey! The burger. Yeah.
He did. He lit that stogie up a la like he Schwarzeneggered that stogie.
He did
did.
Schwarzenegger that. Yeah.
That's a nice touch. Yeah. And that's Deterrence.
That's
Deterrence.
1999's Deterrence. Great movie, Don. Thank you for bringing this to
Yes,
us.
very much so.
Yeah. At this point in the show, we give our own unique rating to the film we've been yapping about, 1999's Deterrence. Don, would you care to give a rating for this?
I'm normally an out of 5-star guy, so I give this movie 4 nuclear footballs.
Okay.
Ooh.
I like it. 4 nuclear footballs.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun one to find.
Yeah, you're now in some database someplace.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right.
thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
The algorithm guys.
I may or may not see you next week.
Yeah,
Right,
Pete
yeah.
Hegseth
Oh, boy.
is going to show up at your doorstep.
And wonder, I like football.
Yeah.
I like football.
Yeah. Bears free agency news, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't believe it. Go Cowboys.
Makes it cry.
Oz, what is your rating?
I'm giving it 72 cheeseburgers.
There it is. Okay.
72 cheeseburgers. Curtis, what's your rating?
Well, my rating was going to be on a chili burger scale, so
Oh,
I gotta go with 83 IBSs, 83 cases of IBS. 83. Yes.
Okay,
How wet do you want it?
Ooh. Okay.
How wet do you want your
There's a different
IBS?
database he just ended up on right there. Yeah.
Pete Hegseth is also involved in that one too.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our unique ratings. Folks, every week, Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insights. And Don, I'm assuming you've also scoured the interwebs as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Would you care to kick us off?
Kick us off,
sure.
Don.
So, I, being a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic, humble brag, I always try to find a Rotten Tomatoes critic who gives this movie review. This is from Rob Blackwelder. And he was writing for Spliced Wire in 1999 or in 2000. I'm surprised. There's only like 30 something reviews on Rotten Tomatoes that are linked here for Deterrence. I think about 15 of them were 404 not found because the internet's been a little old since 99.
because
it's a little rough. So
did something happen in the year 2000 that may have taken down some websites?
You know, if we all survived Y2K, but yeah, so he not happy that a film critic was making a movie and he kind of let it so this is kind of where he's at. So he says, pretentious, ludicrous, unskilled, and about a decade too late to be effectively suspenseful. This Red Scare spawn B movie reeks of cheap production values, amateurish directorial decisions, unmotivated dramatic camera zooms, accompanied by an irritatingly insistent Twilight Zone style score and lame dramatic gimmicks. It's shot partially in black and white. After writing himself into a dramatic corner, Lurie opts for a last real cop-out so insultingly absurd and nonsensical that it's not only a slap in the face of the audience, but it also erases any semblance of integrity Pollak's president might have had. And that's Rod or Rob Blackwell. Or Blackwell.
Somebody's jealous that they didn't get a movie deal.
Right. Jeez.
Someone also had a thesaurus on hand there as
Yeah,
well.
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
Flex my muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you,
What
Don.
about you guys?
Yes,
Who'd you
thanks.
find?
Yeah, Oz, what do you got?
Mine again comes from Letterboxd, September 18th of 2019. This is from Sutter Kane, the writer from In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh boy.
He just writes Letterboxd movie reviews now.
Okay.
Half-star review.
Ouch.
This is a well-made movie from a technical standpoint, but it is deeply evil from a moral standpoint.
Yes.
This is the type of fascist agitprop that paved the way for the Iraq War, casting any action by America as justified. The only two moral centers in the movie are its two black characters, but even they're used as Jiminy Cricket magical Negro stereotypes whose moral prostinations are easily disregarded. This is sick stuff.
This movie paved the way for the Iraq War.
Right. 4
Yeah.
years early from 03, George
It
Bush
made
was
like
Kevin
140K
Pollak.
at the box office.
yeah, this was
Director had the long view.
Yeah, we could. Yes, Sutter Kane. I get this is your always sunny like crazy meme as I'm standing in front of a map trying to connect the
Right.
red strings. This is like no. I really don't think
no.
that this movie. I
Yeah.
don't think we can pin the Iraq War on Kevin Pollak.
Yeah.
Like,
And this movie
Jackson Pollak,
Yeah.
maybe, but
and this movie was easily dispatched by 9/11. Like any kind of
Yeah.
like, and there's a lot of these like we did this in the 90s a lot, and I almost brought one of them to the table tonight, which was like Arlington Road, I think also from 1999,
Yep.
where a little bit of like domestic politics, domestic terrorism, or the hint of it, and like a little bit of bad guy wins, and like we did those movies in the 90s where like 7 bad guy wins, and like there's movies like that. And once we got to 9/11, we weren't okay being entertained by bad guy wins and terrorism. It became a scary thing. And so we didn't make this movie 2 years after this one. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and that unfortunately, the
I
events
miss
of
this movie.
9/11 changed how Hollywood portrayed the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Just like for the same reason that late night talk shows and SNL are having a real difficult time being funny right now. Like
I agree.
because reality is
How
a
long can you-
farce.
Yeah,
Unreal.
that's well said.
Yeah, that actually, Don, that was going to be my was would this movie have been made post 9/11?
I think, like I said, I think the closest you got is this this Netflix one that came out last year, and that's Catherine Bigelow, who did Point Break, Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30. She
We
came
spent
out and
a
made that
month on
movie House
her.
of Dynamite. So the movie just this past year is the closest thing I've seen to an attempt on something like this, where lock everybody in a room, put a problem out there that you have to solve through screens and phone calls.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, Curtis, what's your outside insight?
Yeah, mine is always comes from the Internet Movie Database. Is a 1 out of 10 left from KK63 in February of 2003 with the subject line "horrible."
We're
This
short
is
1K
one of the
here.
this is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. It seems as if some high school agile kid made this movie. The president of the United States has been depicted as an extremely irresponsible person. He was acting like a monkey with a scalpel in his hand.
Oh, I hate monkeys and scalpels.
Oh, yeah, boy.
I love
Talk about
monkeys and I
puns
love
we have.
scalpels, but not together.
Not together.
Not
no.
together.
No. Lines crossed. Yeah, gosh. How could we?
It's like it's the 1,000 monkeys and 1,000 typewriters. Only
Yeah.
imagine 1,000 monkeys with 1,000 scalpels.
Ooh.
Free healthcare.
Yeah.
They'd still eventually write the works of Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Best biopsy boys in the business. Yeah, just
Free healthcare.
scalpels.
All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've all been waiting for. The Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3, 2, 1, in which Oz, I, and Don will each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, 1999's Deterrence. Don, would you like to start us off? Share your 3 goods with us?
Sure, my 3 goods. I'll start here with I do like I know it's an exposition dump and you got to get through a lot of smelly dump,
Yeah.
but I appreciate the layers of politics media coverage. I know there's like a little too on the nose, and someone's doing a chess game, but you're still watching some chess happen politically. But the bluffs and the potboiler aspect of the movie really hooked me. Like not knowing what the movie was and seeing it for the first time, and even watching it all these years later, like it's got kind of a Sorkin light pace to it, where LITE, like Miller Lite. Like nothing's as fast and as cool as Sorkin, but like it's got that, like you said, the jargon, the lingo is thick, but at the same time, everyone sounds smart when they do it, at least smart enough. So like I appreciate the layers because you have like the IBS layer helps a lot. All the people that are able to get on the phone, the negotiator here, the negotiator there, the Secret Service has an angle. The civilian stuff is probably the thinnest and weakest, but you kind of need that to show the differences between the experts and the non-experts. But I appreciate the layers. My second good would be, honestly, I think I kind of hinted at this with, pre 9/11, but I appreciate a movie that has the balls to kind of go there conceptually. Like, I'm not saying I'm waving my flag like every movie should nuke Baghdad, but like we see a lot of these movies pull punches and not really like they'll they'll have a lot of consternation and things like that. But this movie has enough consideration to go with the consternation, even in the aftermath, in comparison to something like House of Dynamite, where House of Dynamite, spoiler alert, is just super open-ended, where like this movie's not. Like this movie definitively gets to a point where something happens, and I appreciate that versus every weak sauce version of this or mumblecore movie that have open endings afterwards. So yeah.
Do you think, Don, before you get to your third, do you think that angle of having the balls to do it comes from a movie critic making the movie as opposed to being a Hollywood guy of I've reviewed so many films that don't have the teeth, et cetera, that, if I get the opportunity to make a movie, and then finally, maybe Lurie put his money where his mouth is. It's like, I'm going to make a film that actually has the bad guy do something.
I think so. And in the same way, like, and then shift your bad guy. Like, we sit here watching our United States president make these big decisions, and we kind of have it in the back of our mind, like, are we watching the bad guy? I know the bad guy is supposedly on the phone half a world away in Iraq invading Kuwait, but like, could we be watching another bad guy? And who would cook that up but somebody who maybe has, like you said, watched enough toothless things, safe things, and
where
like
America always wins,
right? And we might still, and it's not that we have the balls to, like, I'm not trying to play Sean Astin here, but like the fact that you go through the decisions with some aftermath. I was impressed with versus Save the Day, click the red wire with 3 seconds left in the clock kind of stuff,
Well, back to the MacGyver reference.
That, or even every Mission Impossible movie lately. Like, how many times has Ethan Hunt saved the world in the last 15 years in horrendously ridiculous fashion? So,
well, I mean, in the Die Hard movies were the same way, and it's like Die Hard 1, great, because you felt for John McClane, and then suddenly, just bring John McClane in, he'll save the day.
I know. My third good is the out-of-box casting. Like I said, Kevin Pollak, normally a comedian, stand-up comedian, funny man, great, great dry comedian. To see him put some dramatic heft into a unique role,
gravitas.
And I don't think I've ever seen him attempt this angle of character again. A year later, he's the accent playing, hitman in a whole 9 yards with Bruce Willis and Amanda Peet, where like that we're back to hammy Kevin Pollak. So for one movie to see him like, hey, I can chomp on this cigar and I can deliver some lines and I can have grizzle, and I appreciated that out of Kevin Pollak. And even at the same time, this is a young Cheryl Lee Ralph, years before Abbott Elementary, where she has unique poise and a calm presence where you're right, you kind of wish for her to kind of be the a little bit of a savior of the scene and savior of the movie if you can, and she doesn't lose any resolve. She's not the girl, and it's a nice part for her too. And I forget how old she was in '99, but like she looks strikingly young compared to where she is now. So,
but I agree. Nice stuff.
Those are my three goods.
Yeah,
Oz, what do you got?
To kind of piggyback with you there, I Kevin Pollak plays in over his head very well.
Yeah.
For again being out of type, really the only other, and I've got limited Kevin Pollak filmography, but it's like there's Kevin Pollak in this. There's Kevin Pollak as the dad, and she's all that.
Yeah.
But then there's also Kevin Pollak from Usual Suspects, which is a little closer to this kind of role.
Yeah.
But he definitely played a I'm a little in over my head, but it was very nuanced in that he portrayed that he knew what he was doing, but as you're watching it, you realize that it's like he's really hoping Hussein backs down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I think you go bold with we're going to bomb your capital
Yeah.
with nukes, hoping that like, he'll back off from that. Nobody wants that. So
Yeah.
I think he played in over his head very well.
Yeah.
I like that
I think 99 other times you make this movie, Timothy Hutton's your president, and he's the chief. He's the chief of staff.
Oh yeah,
because
Hutton
the
looks
small
more presidential.
diminutive, the small diminutive older. I hate to say it, Jew. But like he's the guy who plays the right hand man, not the man in charge.
Yeah.
And Timothy Hutton, your little quarterback looking guy, is normally your
and they even played on that a little bit too.
They do.
There was that nice conversation of you were the star, and now it's me. My second good is I enjoyed the couple of surprises. Harvey pulling the gun and taking out the soldier, didn't see that coming. And I'm glad that they explained the logic behind that move without it being, oh no, you shot the only guy who had the code, without being that on the nose. In the ending, I didn't see that coming with all the dud missiles, and then the explanation as to why. I was like, okay, it was obviously a nice little fail-safe, but it was like, oh, that was kind of a fun little twist that really the president, what he knew from the jump that this would be okay, that we're not going to take any casualties for it. It's not one of my huns, but I had myself thinking that how many days on the job as fill-in president before you have the conversation of, hey, Iraq's nukes are fake.
Just like, so you know,
when does that combo happen?
Yeah.
And my third, I really liked all of the outsiders. You got your insiders in the cafe, but all of the outsiders are brought in technologically. There weren't cameras elsewhere. It was we're watching the news, we're on the comm link, we're on the the payphone. So I don't know what his wife looked like. I don't, we didn't see anybody anywhere else except what they were consuming is what we were consuming. So I did like that.
I'd agree. It would have muddled it more and drawn attention away too much had had there been an 80-inch projection of the
war room map,
exactly,
yeah.
like
or even
Pentagon figures and whatnot,
or even cutting to his wife at home during that conversation. Keep me in the diner
with a daughter next to her. Yeah,
because if they can't leave, neither should we. And I like that.
It locks you in. I like it.
Yeah, Curtis, what are your three?
My first good is I like how fast things escalated. It was mentioned before, this movie paces itself well and doesn't overstay. It's welcome. We're 10, 15 minutes in and we've got a threat of nuclear war going on here. They don't beat around the bush here too much.
No,
so
there's not. I get to know you.
Yeah, it jumps right in, and I love that. My second one, and we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but like this movie really is a play. Like it's
totally
like you could easily see this done in a live production. It's all in one setting. So it to me it felt like a play, and I enjoyed it. It gave it a much different flavor to watch what could be a play in cinema.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And my last good, despite the moral quandaries of Emerson, he's clearly intelligent, a historian, culturally aware and insightful. It was nice to see a president know things.
Agreed. My goodness. Yeah.
And he beat Trump in the primary.
I completely forgot about that in this movie until I had the rewatch recently. Like, oh my gosh, how prophetic was that? Like even everyone points to the White House Correspondents' Dinner where Obama is razzing Trump, and that was the birth of the monster. For all we knew, here we are, having Trump being mentioned in 1999 for a 2008 election. Crazy. Yeah.
At the risk of potentially stealing a from somebody later, did they ever mention what political party they were?
No, that's a good. That's a very good question. I mean, I guess in the '90s era, we're coming off of Clinton, right? Or at least when the movie's made, like, this could easily be. I think there's a good ambiguity. Like, he's not that terribly far away from W. A historian, student of the game. I guess being Jewish, you probably suspect he's blue more than red, but at the same time, it's not impossible that he's Mitt Romney-ish,
Yeah.
Cold War thinking strategist,
Well, they also right at the beginning when he's talking to the husband and wife, interrupted their chess game. Like they were talking about Social Security, and in canon they had just raised the Social Security age from 65 to 73.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So
I think
that's
you would associate more with a right wing move. But,
agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they did not. Yeah, they did not explicitly say
Yeah.
where on the political spectrum he was.
Let's get Kevin Pollak on the phone.
You know what?
I'll get my sat phone out.
Yeah, let's get it. Call him up. See what he was.
I like the ambiguity though. That's a good one
too.
because I think a movie today would over telegraph that. Like make sure really loudly and clearly, I'm this guy. They would. Yeah, the flag waving would be strong.
Deterrence brought to you by Michael Moore.
Oh my gosh! Right?
Jeez. Kidding.
Yeah.
Or McG.
And Kid Rock. Who knows?
Kid
Right.
Rock. Kid Rock's Deterrence.
Too funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Right. Hey Don, what about a couple of bads?
It's a little bit thin, but yeah. So the patrons in the customer witnesses, there's not a lot of character. I mean, some people will say there's not a lot of character development, and they're kind of a bit of a blunt rainbow. Like we conveniently have the Frenchman, we conveniently have the black guy, we conveniently have the bigot, we conveniently have the wasp. Like it's a little bit thin of a blunt rainbow of customer witnesses, where it's too convenient of a easy mix, where versus this, there's a good chance there's nothing but truckers in this diner. Like we don't have a worldly
I'm also very jealous of the era where every voting demographic could be in the same diner and not be screaming at each other. I'm jealous of that.
Yeah.
We don't have that currently.
Like, you have Sean Astin's character kind of ribbing the chef, like, hey, make me a better burger, and like there's some back and forth, but it's still the watering hole that everyone's allowed to be in versus shouting matches and finger pointing. So true. My other bad would be, I'm not normally the prude of this, but like, I would love to see more of it's a little thick on the profanity, where like you can get a PG-13 movie of this and show this around a little bit more and maybe have a wider audience than every F-bomb you want to drop every time you want to drop an F-bomb. I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love me some F-bombs, but it does pile on in a movie where maybe you could have slightly sterner edge, smarter edge. Not that it's a sign of unintelligence, but like you could sneak that through the filters and censors to get a little more PG-13 and maybe you make a little bit more money and get a wider scene than if you're a hard R thing.
This is the kind of movie that if it were cleaned up a little bit in the language department, could be an effective like movie to show in social studies classes.
Yes, you put this in civics class and go, what are we weighing here? What are we comparing? What rules are right or what rules are wrong? But yeah, when you're thanks, Sean Astin.
I was going to say the same thing.
When you're labeling the room,
thanks, Mikey.
We lose it a little bit. Yeah, pretty much. So those are my two.
Samwise.
All right, Oz, what do you got?
To kind of go with your play, similarity there, which is astute and very correct. I felt everyone was ready with their lines.
True.
There wasn't a whole lot of introspective thought between dialogue. It was just bam, 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 which didn't take away, but you guys are having very heavy conversations about very important things. And it's like everyone was politicking. Like it's just scripted.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it is scripted, but it just felt that way.
Even the customers too, which should have the larger question marks than the experts. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, don't miss your mark. Now, go on your cue. And my second bad, Harvey's face didn't sizzle.
Good point.
That bothered me. Yeah. He just cooked a burger. And then he drops dead face down on the griddle, and his face didn't sizzle at all.
Yeah, it should have a little something action there, a little blistering.
I'll have a Harvey medium rare.
That's my second bad. Is Harvey didn't have the sizzle.
Yeah,
no sizzle for Harvey.
I did. I was actually searching for a second bad, and then that scene happened, and he's laying there just face down on the griddle, and they pull him away, and I was like, Please let your skin
burnt.
stick. Like, come
That'd be
on,
cool.
nothing.
No.
It just goes all Toxic Avenger.
Exactly.
It's just gooey. And
Yeah.
It's like the end of RoboCop.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, Paul Crane's out there getting splattered.
And a
Yeah.
RoboCop.
Oh my gosh!
Help me. Should have been Harvey, but it
You're right.
wasn't. So
Yeah.
Curtis, what about your two bads?
Yeah.
For my two, I think Sean Astin was miscast.
Probably. It's
he-
Samwise Gamgee's. Yeah. Come on.
Again, it was a couple years before
Rudy.
Lord of the Rings. It
Yeah.
just, and Sean Astin kind of got lost in the 90s. I don't recall any
It's true.
huge roles that he had. So he's probably just, just a paycheck. But I just,
Mhm.
we used gravitas with Kevin Pollak before. I don't buy Sean Astin as this raging bigot. Like,
Yeah.
it just,
There was a
no.
lot of roles in Astin's this era. Like
Okay.
51st Date's another one.
Right.
I don't buy Sean Astin as
Same.
a drugged up, as a
He's
performance
he's one of those
enhancing
people
drug
who's-
user.
he's too good.
Yeah.
On screen and off screen, where like he's Rudy, he's Mikey, like you said, like
Yeah.
he's Sam. Like he just can't play a villain ever.
No.
Like he's just you can hire anybody else there. Like
Yeah,
but
like they
Sean-
slapped a fake goatee on him and a hunter's
Oh, yeah.
jacket, and
yeah,
you're a
like-
bigot
it's-
now, Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
you're
and it's
not.
like, and it's kudos to him for, I guess, trying it, because like
Right.
Michael J. Fox is kind of in that same zone of like, but he
Too
was
nice,
aware,
yeah.
like, I can't do that. Like, no one's
Mhm.
going to buy me in that role. And Sean Astin's like, yeah, I'll try it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Why not?
yeah. And it's probably one of those where, I mean, if I do the math here, he's filming Lord of the Rings probably the very next year. So like,
Probably, yeah.
doing somebody a favor by being a nice guy in this movie to, put his name in here, because it's probably him and Timothy Hutton more than his Pollak in terms of Q rating here. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was probably prepping for the role while they were shooting. I don't think we ever saw his feet in this movie.
I didn't see his feet.
it
Yeah.
does take a long time to grow the hair in. Yeah,
Yeah.
And it makes sense for a hobbit why he hangs out in a diner. He's always hungry.
He is. He's always hungry.
Lebanese, he
Yeah.
eats second breakfast,
Makes
French
sense.
fried and mashed potatoes there.
right?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
Those are mashed potatoes too. Yeah,
My other bad was just and we've mentioned it already, but just
Mhm.
Emerson's big dumb cigar. Like it.
Yeah.
Like it was
Pollock's
almost
too small of a guy to have a big dumb cigar.
True.
It's supposed to be his ego and his boasting. Like it had a very
Right.
almost
On the
like you always saw like Jordan, like in prime
Mhm.
Jordan,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
just win their fourth championship, and you look over and he's got a 15-inch cigar hanging out of his
Right.
mouth. Like
There's
I-
Kevin
I-
Pollock.
yeah, it actually was Kevin Pollak hanging out of Jordan's mouth.
With his cigar.
Yeah,
Right,
with
yeah.
the smaller cigar.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Like it was almost like his way of self-soothing. You know how like
Mhm.
people have I'll go classic Freudian here for a moment here, like a classic oral fixation.
right,
Like
right,
that
right.
was that he needed that to feel big
Mhm.
and okay.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, but on the nose,
Yeah.
you're right.
So big dub cigar to make
Mhm.
yourself feel tough.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one with a silly bad, like, no face sizzle.
Right.
Stupid big cigar.
It's a big cigar. So those are my bads.
right.
Don, what do you got for your
I saw a lot of reviews while I was digging on the Rotten Tomatoes front of things where a lot of people call that rug pull ending denouement of the flop nukes and all that, where a bit cheating. As much
Sure.
as I give the movie credit for having the balls to actually go through with something, drop a bomb on something, and have those implications, have that aftermath, you do have a nice little dry erase eraser of, oh, don't worry, they all didn't work,
Yeah.
and it's a bit of in that it's an ending twist. I never felt like it was. I didn't feel the same way the reviewers I read did, where it was like super duper cheating, but I can see why people would. I get it. Where
Yeah.
that's of like, that's a little, you kind of waylay the viewers that a little strongly, where don't worry guys, all in the end it's fine, and
Yeah, all those cities we like are safe. It's okay.
yeah.
I was just thinking that
cheating
they should have had
convenience,
one of them went off, but it was in like a city nobody cares about. Like
Sheboygan.
Everybody,
Yeah.
Spokane is
Akron,
annihilated. But
yeah.
Duluth, Minnesota. Like,
The
no,
aroma
not
in
Duluth.
Tacoma. Yeah.
Yep.
Take my eyes, but not Duluth.
Bismarck, North Dakota.
So,
But that's my
yeah.
haunt, where
I like that.
Yeah.
It's did the movie cheat?
Yeah.
Was it too convenient of an ending
Mhm,
after
mhm.
all of that? Yeah.
That would have been a fun ploy too, like especially pre-internet, where the United States boasts to the rest of the world how important some of these cities are that aren't, like Bismarck and,
Sure.
and Duluth, Minnesota. Like
Yeah.
we broadcast them as like the meccas of America. So when foreign nationalists want to bomb something or come after us, they go after those cities instead of our big ones.
Right.
New York, it's just, it's like Curtis, you and I joke all the time about how small LA is.
Yeah.
How
depicted in
travel
movies, yeah.
ready some of these cities are.
No,
Like,
not
no.
Springfield, Missouri.
Yeah,
Right.
not there. Oh yeah, that'd been fun instead of the whole teraflop thing. It's like,
Yeah.
jokes on them.
Oz, what do you got for a
Why would you name a news studio IBS?
That was a possibility for me as well.
Yep.
that was my Why?
It had to be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
It's like, I assume broadcast is the B, and I assume service is the
station,
S, but I don't know what the I is though.
Yeah.
So
but it's still like, come on,
Inconsequential.
yeah,
like
that's a good point.
right. Yeah, but yeah, just why would you name your news station IBS?
Some people can relate to it.
That's true.
There we go.
Can't get enough.
Oh, they have to keep their news in short bursts because
You got to rush to the TV. IBS is on.
Yeah.
here's your 3-minute your 3-minute update on IBS.
Yeah.
The 20 minutes of commercials.
Right.
It's like Weather on the 8s, the Weather Channel used to do.
Yeah.
Oh, Curtis, what's your
I got I got a couple ones.
I've got 17.
I have 17 I'm gonna go with my my backup, I'll say. So
Okay.
my unofficial is he really insecure about his short king status? Like the news called him short, Lizzie called him short, and then moments later he's calling in a nuclear strike.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
A little pinky in the brain action going on here.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
On an unrelated note, I saw that the voices of Pinky and the Brain are actually going to be in Springfield, Oz.
Oh, are they?
There's going to be some kind of comic convention.
Is there a
down there.
con?
Yeah, some kind of nerd con will be down there.
I wonder what washed up third tier professional wrestler is going to be at that one. Probably Tugboat, probably.
Yeah.
Coco
Mark
Beware.
Miro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark Miro.
Me
Still
Mark
pining
Miro.
for Sable.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair.
Brock Lesnar took my girl. Yeah.
My real though, the one I'm going to go with.
There we go.
We didn't get a whole lot from the Woods couple.
True. Yeah.
For now.
So they're out at this diner playing chess. So and they had a babysitter taking care of their son at home. Did they go on a date night to the diner to play chess?
In the snow. In the snow.
In the snow.
In the worst snowstorm of the decade. Yeah. Yeah.
Honey,
be
what are you
fair-
going to do? It's our first date night in 6 months. We're going to the diner to play chess.
Yeah.
To be fair, they are from Colorado. This is nothing in Colorado.
True. Good point. Yeah.
I got a
Put
taste
the
for chili
snowshoes on
burger.
and jog home. Right. Yeah. I know that's Catherine Morris from like Medium. Like she'd be a TV star within the decade, but yeah, she didn't get a lot. I was waiting for her to be the exasperated screamer in different scenes of like, surely she's gonna be the frantic one, with the D-bag husband, bothering her about chess and not putting away his phone, being the pusher. But yeah, they kind of fade a little bit in the background when Sean Astin shows up, or things get a little more thicker and real. So yeah, that's a missed opportunity there.
With you.
Yeah,
I'm looking up the con a little bit here to see who else is
Here
going
we
to
go.
be there.
Yeah. We got C2E2.
I think
Rob Paulson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got C2E2 in Chicago this weekend. Of course, that's star-studded and crazy. So yeah.
And that's at
Amanda
that's at
Beers.
McCormick Place.
Yeah, and I think you got a lot of people. I think we got Elizabeth Olsen. We got like 2 Avengers there. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Springfield's got Amanda Beers.
Amanda Beers and a Power Ranger.
Oh,
Joey Fatone. Tara Reid will be there.
Oh,
body shots, Tara Reid.
Yeah.
that's the Terra flop from this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the Decatur's rocking out.
Yeah.
Decatur's got one in April. Sergeant Slaughter,
Oh,
The Godfather.
if you ever want to have
There
a
we
camel
go.
clutch
Papa
applied to you.
Shango.
Yeah, Charles Wright, Papa Shango / The Godfather will be there.
Comma. I guess he's got
Yeah.
3 personas. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting. Yeah.
All
so-
more inappropriate than the last.
To end on the Godfather. Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nude
what-
Nick.
Staying easy.
That's when the most PC one is the Godfather.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, remember
So,
when
yeah,
they did like the right to censor and they like cleaned up the Godfather and put the white shirt on him and Jehovah's Witness the group for a little bit, like
That's
Valvinus,
right.
and like, yeah, they try to clean it up knowing he's just wrong,
Yeah.
But with a face turn to go back to his nefarious ways was cued in there somewhere. So,
Of course.
of course.
Yeah.
Here,
It's the
just
attitude
real quick, because
Yeah.
celebrity autographs are ridiculous.
I
Red
can't
Ranger,
imagine.
Austin St. John, $80 for an autograph.
Get out of here. Come on. Nope.
I mean, you got some big Decatur money though for that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this
yeah.
is the Springfield one. I'm
Okay.
scrolling real quick here to see. Tara
Look at that.
Reid, $60 for an autograph.
Get that C2E2 price on Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
It's $300.
Joey Fatone, 50. Rob Paulson, 50. So you could get Pinky. But yeah, where's Amanda Beers? What? Amanda Beers is going to be there, but she apparently, according to this, she either isn't doing autographs or she's not doing autograph prices on the website.
Mm-hmm.
But
She actually gives you $10 to
she wants
sign
your
this.
autograph.
Yeah.
She's just an
Yeah.
autograph collector, Amanda Beers.
I want
Right.
you to sign it, Marcy Darcy.
Exactly. Yeah. Sign up Marcy Darcy.
All right, well, Don, thank you so much.
Yeah,
for joining
absolutely.
us.
It's
Yes.
always
Oh,
enjoy having you on
always
the show.
enjoy having you here, and you're doing God's work with Chicago Indie Critics and all your outlets.
No, thank you. And thanks for being a part of our group. I believe that you're going on your 3rd year here, so you're doing great. Cool to see the expansion with the website. The Criterion journey you're on is harrowing. I'm glad it's you and not me. You're going down a dark path,
It's, you know what? I've been through Salo. It's all uphill from here. That was a
Yeah.
hard watch.
Wow.
That was rough. I've got about an hour left of Fritz Lang's M.
Okay, that's
That's what I'm on right now.
That's worth it. But I expect
Yeah.
you to next time I see you, grow a French mustache and be far more pretentious than you ever could possibly be this time next
I'm
year.
trying to fight that urge. I balance them out. It's like I'll watch we'll watch M, and then I'll catch an episode of DTF St. Louis from HBO. So
Good call.
I expect you that like a year from now when we're all together again for this, that you like you haven't shaved and you haven't trimmed your nails and you have like Kleenex boxes on your feet.
and I'm wearing a real tuxedo, not just a t-shirt.
And it's not ironic either.
No. I'm more of a sage of film now.
Yeah, it's the only clean article of
change
clothing
you.
you had left.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that might happen because once I get to Berlin Alexanderplatz, that'll take me a minute or two to get through that one. And just to be fair, not that anyone's listening this late in the show about my Criterion journey, those early Criterion, I am going to skip some because there was some where there was like a Beastie Boys anthology.
Right.
And there was Fishing with John, which is a TV show. I'm good.
Yeah. Are you doing this on the channel? Are you borrowing from the library? Tell me you're not purchasing these thousand spines
good
of
Lord,
movies.
no.
Yeah.
An educator.
Right.
I am the proud owner of a VC Box 6 Plus, which is one of you've got all the channels and you got all the movies and so it's not pirating, but someone's doing it and I'm just happy to be watching it. I've only had to find Samurai 2 and Samurai 3 elsewhere.
Okay.
Everything else has been available
How
on the
about
box.
that? Cool.
Samurai 4 through 7 are easy to find.
Right. Yeah. Those are dime a dozen. You could get those.
Right.
Get the Walmart VHS bin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You could get those like
Maybe
all
the
Final
Decatur Con in the
Destinations.
bin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Bring a couple extra bucks.
But yeah, there's been some tough watches. I was not a fan of Salo. I recognized what it was going for. It accomplished it.
Okay.
And I didn't like Alphaville. It's not a fan of Alphaville.
Curtis, any temptation to swim in the same pool, or you're like, nope, I'm good.
God, no.
Yeah, same.
I'm enjoying it though. I've always been intrigued by it.
Sure.
And I've given some thought to like, do I just want to watch it randomly? I'm like, no, I want to watch them in spine order. And so like I had back to back of Silence of the Lambs and RoboCop. You know, and there's been a lot of Akira Kurosawa.
You're going to get an education. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm enjoying it because the next movie's right there. I know what I'm watching next. I don't have to think about it. I'll just find it, watch it, and write it.
Cool.
It's been fun.
And while you're watching cinema at its finest,
what am I going to break it up with next week, Curtis?
Here's next week's. We teased this earlier, Don. So as we finish up Patreon subscriber month, with Patreon subscriber Melissa L's choice, she always brings us some interesting things there, Oz. So we're going with one of her all-time favorites, 1994's Cabin Boy.
Oh, okay.
Criterion.
Political lightning rod movie. Yeah, good luck there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I
have a soft spot for Cabin Boy.
Yeah. Well,
I get why.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right.
Melissa might be the only one with a hard spot for Cabin Boy.
There's other jokes there, but it's Chris Elliott at his finest. We've got the manager for Major League. We've got a Doyle Murray. We've got future talk show host Ricky Lake. Yeah, everybody's there. We have who's my favorite big tough guy? And I'm blanking on his name, Oz. Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, Mike Starr.
Mike Starr is in it. That's right.
Perfect. Yeah.
I love me a Mike Starr.
Yeah, we do. We are Mike Starr fans here.
Yes.
Well, thanks.
So next week we will round out 2026's Patreon subscriber month with
and reveal our next abbreviated theme for the duration of April.
The mini month to finish out April.
Don, give us another plug if you'd like.
Sure. Search the socials with Every Movie Has a Lesson or Don Shanahan. You'll find my work there. Film Obsessive is the main outlet I get to shingle for as the editor-in-chief. And check out the Cinephile Hissy Fit podcast.
No, very, very good. Thank you much, Don.
Yes.
Social media wise, you guys can find us, on the socials, really just Facebook and Instagram, and YouTube Shorts, Spotify. But ultimately, just go to the website, letstalkaboutflix.com. You got links to all your socials. You got all the back episodes. Everything is streamable right there from the site. You can find a random movie generator. And so we'll work on some merch and definitely jump on and check out Josh Adams and what he's been writing. So there's more of Josh that I am getting onto the site. But I'm looking forward to his contributions, and I hope he is a future member of the CIC because he's got he's got a good eye, a good voice, and he's fun to read. So
awesome. Inadvertently he broke up my my blog writer's block as well. So he wrote a recent piece just about his love for going to the movies, which inspired my latest piece on the 10 best movie theater snacks.
That was a good list. I'm telling you. Yeah,
it was a good list. So I read it to Jenny, and she's like, "Peanut M&Ms is too low."
The Patreon subscriber Melissa L had some words, not with me, for me, about my choice to include the milk chocolate Raisinets.
My wife would have joined forces with her and been like, "No, I don't care what you cover them in. I like Raisinets." So.
I will say I will soon. I do have my 10 choices for worst. I haven't written the whole thing.
Yeah, I knew you've been working on it.
And I will say that Raisinets will make an apparence there as well because milk chocolate Raisinets.
I noticed the specificity of milk chocolate, and I'm like, man, I like dark chocolate too, but I bet that's not, unless it's like turd Raisinets. It's covered in turd. Don't eat it.
Yeah.
What theaters are you going to? For another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
Thank you, Don, once again for joining us. Hope to have you on again soon, and we'll catch you guys next week with Cabin Boy.